Now that we have the joists spaced and located on the center marks, we will attach them to the rim joists. There are various brackets that are available to attach your joist to the rim joist, and I recommend you use one of them in conjunction with nails in the end of the boards. After the joists are fastened in place, we will add blocking to provide additional stability. This is a good idea and may also be required by your local building code.
Now we've installed our joists and we've attached them to our beams. The next thing we're going to do is put in bracing between all of the joists. This is a great time to install plumbing, electrical, cable. We're going to be installing bracing for the railings and for the skirt to go around this deck.
First, we are going to attach the joist to the beams with brackets and toe nailing. Next, we are going to install blocking for the Oz railings. The easiest way to do this is to nail two 2x6 or 2x8 boards and fasten them between the joists where the railing posts are going to be located. Remember not to forget about gates and openings. I like using 2x8s because they offer more flexibility on post locations later. Simply attach the blocking flush to the top of the joists and rim joists and attach with nails or screws. We will also be adding framing for the deck skirt that we'll install later. This is also a good time to install your stair stringers if this is required by your design. We are going to install one set of stairs on this deck. There are many options for building a set of stairs. Pre-cut stair stringers are a great option and make the project quick and easy. And that's what we'll be using today. We have located the stair stringers and securely fastened them to the deck skirt. We have also installed a base with patio stones for the wood to rest on.
Now we've strapped down our joists, installed blocking for our Oz railing, installed posts here for our skirt that we'll put around, and we've also installed the stair stringers. And now we're ready to start putting all the decking on.
There are many options for installing deck boards. There are standard hardware choices like nails and screws, and more advanced options like underdeck attachment and hidden fasteners. Today we are going to use screws. Color-matched screws are readily available and are easy to use for both the do-it-yourselfer and professional. What I like about using screws is that it makes it easier to replace boards if that situation arises, and they hold stronger than nails do. Installing deck boards is not difficult, but can be somewhat time-consuming. It is a good idea to leave a nail width between each board for drainage and swelling, and use 2 screws for each joist location, about 1 inch from the edge of the board. An automatic feed screw gun like what we have here makes the process fast and consistent. To make sure that you have your hardware in a straight line and properly located on the joists, snap a chalk line at each joist location.
Now that we've almost finished putting down the deck surface, we're going to be installing the Oz railing. The Oz railing produces unparalleled post stability for your railing. You've got your Oz railing bracket, you drill it in and mount it down to your deck.
The first step is to cut the length and mark the center by drawing lines from corner to corner on the end of the post like this. Now that we have the center of the post, we are going to drill in the end of the post with a standard 1 1/4" hole saw that is 1 7/8" deep. This is a common size that's available at any hardware store. You will use this technique for most softwoods. If you are using hardwoods like Ipe or dense composites like Trex, you will need to refer to additional instructions on our website. Be sure to inspect the post for any large knots or cracks near the bottom. If there are some knots and cracks, use the other end or a different post. Cracks and large knots can weaken the construction and make it harder to drive the Oz railing into the post. Firmly hold or clamp the post while you drill in the end with a hole saw. You want to be sure to drill the hole straight, so be sure to let the saw do the cutting and keep an eye on plumb. Continue to drill the post until the hole saw bottoms out. Next, insert the end of the Oz railing into the hole and drive it in with a 5-pound hammer. Set the tube into the post with a couple of good taps. Then check to see if it's square with the post. Tap one side of the post lightly to square it if it's necessary. Now drive it home. A few swift blows should do it. When the base of the Oz railing has reached the base of the post, you can stop driving it. Now that the Oz railing is inserted, we need to install the lag screws. We pre-drilled holes for the lag screws with a 3/16" drill bit. After drilling the holes, we will install the lag screws with flat washers. Attach securely, but don't over-tighten, as it will have a tendency to strip the hole out. Now that the Oz railing is installed on the post, we want to locate it on the deck in the locations where the blocking is installed. After positioning the post, use a pencil and mark each hole location on the Oz railing. Remove the post and drill holes with a 3/16" drill bit. Reposition the post and install 3-inch lag bolts. Just snug the screws at first, and then once all are installed, check for level. If the post is not level, you can make fine adjustments by tightening one side more than the other to get perfect plumb. Spacer washers can also be used if the adjustment required is more than what can be done with the previous method. Generally, spacer washers are not necessary. Now that we have the posts installed with the Oz railing, we are now ready to install the railings, following the manufacturer's directions. We have chosen to use pre-welded, galvanized, and powder-coated railing panels from Fortress Iron. This is a very attractive product and is fast and easy to install. First, we put some scrap 4x4s below in the bay that we're working in to rest the railing section on. This helps maintain a consistent height without measuring. Next, we position the panel so that there was similar spacing on both sides, using the vertical pickets as reference. Next, we mark the top of the rail and cut the excess rail off. We sprayed the ends of the cuts to prevent rust, even though this is a galvanized product. Next, we slid on the collar brackets and located the panel in the center of the post. We attached the brackets to the post and panel with screws that were provided. We used a rackable panel for the stairs and used a similar technique to attach the brackets. The stair brackets were a bit different because they had a swivel that facilitated the angle. This made the installation easy and did not require angle cutting of the panel. That's it. The entire railing construction was only 45 minutes and it looks and feels great. This entire deck project was completed by 2 of us in 12 hours. This deck was completed on the first day up to the decking surface, and the next morning the railing posts were anchored and the railing panels attached. We were all wrapped up by 10 a.m. We realize that there are many other deck features that you may desire to add to your decking project, but we hope this video will give you some ideas on how to properly use OzDeck and OzRailing for your deck. The OzDeck foundation system is a great option for most one-story decks, sheds, and many other load-bearing applications. OzDecks are in use in public parks, boardwalks, and under decks all over North America. They have been load tested to 7,000 pounds of downward force and also provide substantial uplift resistance. OzPosts also perform extremely well in areas that have freeze-thaw conditions, salt air, heavy rains, wooded areas, or hard-packed and even rocky terrain. Be sure to visit our website for more information and ideas for your next project. Also, feel free to call us. We're here to help. OzDecks can be used in almost any soil conditions, but if your ground is particularly soft or unstable, you should hire an engineer to determine if spacing adjustments should be made. And finally, always get a building permit and call your utility companies before installing OzDeck.
We're now done this project. This is a 16 by 12 deck, and this is an easy one weekend project. As you can see, OzDeck will produce an excellent foundation for your decking project, add value to your home, and give your family years of enjoyment. Hope you've enjoyed this presentation, and remember, don't dig holes, use OzPost.